So I'll tell you how long you can live without sex. You can only live, as this father quickly recognized, for 1 generation without sex. See, somebody's got to do it, or this particular critter stops. But not to worry, we have people in the lab now working on this. You want a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman who's a Rhodes Scholar and an all-American athlete? We've got her eggs in the jug. You want a World Cup soccer player who's got dark hair and dark eyes and a very, very beefy body? We've got his sperm in the jug. And we got people working on how to get those things together without all that mess of sex. Someday they'll be able to order up. What do you want? Where's the beef? The students didn't see that ad, by the way. If they did, they were in kindergarten. Now look, I actually lied. Sex is not essential. You can live a long life without sex. What is essential is intimacy and touch. Human beings need intimacy and touch. And I've seen humans put up with horrendous sexual activity to try to get the intimacy and touch that they seek. Now, how do we know people can live without sex? Well, there's been a lot of research done on it. There's a big group of people in our country who never have sex. You know who they are? They're called nuns. Because they have none. They routinely live past 90. It's the norm for them. So the question is, how and when do you decide to have sex? How many think 400,000 unprotected sexual acts is a good idea? I don't think so. Because you know why I think not? We are the ones who get to see them on Monday when things are starting to go wrong. Either there's some little critter crawling around in their body and they don't like it, or they've got some kind of material coming out of their body somewhere that they don't like, or they've got some kind of rash or sore in an embarrassing place, like their face. And then when you ask them, where did you get this? They can't give you the first name of the person who was so nice to share. By the way, I've been here a long time, you know. I've been here for enough years that for the last 7 or 8 years, mothers have been coming up to me at orientation every summer to introduce me to the pregnancy they had while they were a student here earlier in my career. And the pregnancy says something like, "Mother!" So this is not a new problem, you know. It's been happening as long as humans have been on the planet. Okay, let's talk about the health center cost. The cost of the health center next year, $267 a year. Forget about it. It's got to be paid. It's part of the tuition. When you pay your bill, that money gets put into an account. Just like the money for this building, the money for the student newspaper, the money for athletic. You pay it. We have no billing clerks, no insurance clerks. Everyone who works for us is there because they like taking care of students. They could all make more money somewhere else. And all the student needs is their ID card. What does that cover? All the things that I mentioned. All this stuff. It's prepaid. You don't have a choice. Forget about it. Now, let's talk about the other stuff. Immunizations. I have a recommendation sheet. It's on our website. I have some information that could save you money if you still need some immunizations, so I'll be in the resource room right after this. And I'll be happy to share that information with you. Now, here's what's really important. When we're talking money again. These are the things that are not covered by $267 a year. So if your son or daughter would need any of those things to be done, that's why insurance is important. Please read the fine print in your policies. Some of you think you have coverage, but it turns out it only covers if they come back to a pre-negotiated deal some other city, or there's deductibles, or if their credit load gets too low, or if they get too old. Now, we have this new Healthcare Reform Act. The regulations are being written as we speak. There may be some real advantages in there for families, but it's not in place and not working yet. So please read the fine print. I will have information downstairs about a policy that some parents tell me is cheaper than their copay for their own policy, and it covers the students for 12 months any place in the world. So if you're not sure about your insurance, before they get here, make sure you read the fine print, and then you can get that insurance, and I'll have information, and we have information on our website. Last year, that same daughter I was telling you about, she pulled a ligament off her thumb playing very competitive contact sport called ultimate frisbee. $8,000 they charged to repair that thumb. That's more than all 6 of our kids cost to have them delivered. I was thinking cleaver therapy. You know, how much is a thumb worth? Well, it's worth a lot, turns out. $8,000. So read your fine print, please. Okay, that's the health service staff. We have 3 docs, and I am retiring, but there's a national search going on to try to replace me. I know some of you parents are thinking, thank God. I was worried I might have to have my son or daughter see that guy. We have physician's assistants. Now notice this next guy. He appears and then he disappears because he retired too, but now he's back and he's working for us again. So we have the 5 of them and 2 nurse practitioners, and then we have a lot of other staff. A lot of other staff. But all these people take care of student problems. There they are. That's supposed to help you be confident about the care. Now, don't worry, they don't always dress like that. Sometimes they dress like that. Of course, that's at Halloween. We also have peer educators who actually go out into the residence halls and try to help students learn about healthy relationships, making good choices. We pay them money to go out and try to change the cultural norm. Some of the cultural norms are really out of whack. We also have a student health advisory committee. Now, this is a chance for all the students who are in some kind of health career plan. You know, if you want to be in some health field, it's very important that you build a resume that looks good to a graduate school or a medical school or a dental school or a veterinarian school. You want to show that you did something besides get good grades. And you need to get good grades, by the way, to get into those programs. So if you want to be a psychologist or some of the other fields I mentioned, you can join the Student Health Advisory Committee as a first-year student. One of them will be downstairs in the resource room. Just give them your name, and then when the email system clicks in for you, they'll keep you posted, and it's optional. If you want to go, check it out, you can go and check it out. But they do really neat stuff every year. This is the plans of what they did in 2004, 2005. Last year they did a lot of other cool stuff. They go to a national meeting. We send 5 of them to a national meeting every year. This year they went to Philadelphia. They go to these meetings to get training about what it takes to advise health professionals on how to provide really good care. And they come back from that national meeting with good ideas, and then we try to implement those good ideas. Guess where they went that year? Oh, I guess I said there. What a dumb place to have a college health meeting. You know, sometimes we make mistakes too. The only worst decision they made about where to hold this meeting was, guess what city would you not want your young son or daughter going to? You got it. This guy is so sharp. He's gotten 2 of these things right. He must have been an AC. No, he says no. All right, this is the first line of the position description for the people who work in our health service. And the good news is they really do that. We just have 2 simple things we're trying to do. The first one is help students manage their most pressing health needs. That's that keep them alive till they're 25 thing. And then the more difficult thing is helping them learn how to live long and live well. That's really tough. This is the first generation that will not live as long as their parents did. This is the first generation that will not live as long as their parents did. Why? because the cultural norms have gotten so out of whack, they're killing off Americans prematurely.